seems that not so long ago, the tradition of Enterprise Fire Company was started. 4 young boys, ages 13 to 16, started what has become one of the most famous boy fire companies in this state, as quoted in the Fireman's Herald. Vincent Vreeland, Linus Daniels, Hobart Steele, and Wilbur Crane started Enterprise Fire Company in September 1907. The company derived its name from an old fire helmet given to them with the name Enterprise on the front. Wilbur Crane was elected as the first chief and held that position until 1916. The very first piece of equipment was an old 2-wheel cart, which was pulled by a pony owned by one of the boys. The cart carried 125 feet of garden hose and 2 3-gallon chemical tanks. The boys kept this apparatus in a barn on the old Scott property. For the first 2 years, records were not kept, but on April 7, 1907, the boys started to keep records. The next major step the boys undertook was to move to a better location, so on May 1, 1912, they moved to a new location on Maple Street. With this move brought them a new apparatus. An old exercise wagon, along with a set of quick hitch harnesses, was purchased from the Montclair Fire Department, and a horse owned by Russell Steger was used to pull this new wagon. On January 13, 1913, Enterprise Fire Company was incorporated, and the state of New Jersey granted them their charter. On December 16th, the Enterprise Fire Company became a member of the Little Falls Fire Department. 1917, Enterprise moved to its third and final location. Seeing a need to be closer to the center of town, the company moved into a blacksmith shop on Patterson Avenue and rented this space until June 24, 1920, when bonds held by local businessmen totaling $1,700 was used to purchase this land. The next enterprising step taken by the membership was to construct a 30-foot by 50-foot brick firehouse with enough room for 2 pieces of apparatus and a large meeting room. Enterprise is known as fire headquarters for the township of Little Falls, partly because the fire alarm system has been located there since 1919. Along the way, there has been various upgrades. In 1926, the township installed a Gamewell alarm system with a 50-wheel master box. All alarms were transmitted from fire headquarters. At that time, the town entered into a contract with Enterprise, paying the company $385 a year to operate the alarm system. The alarm system has been updated 3 times now, hosting both a mechanical and electronic transmitting capability. In 1976, the fire department took on the responsibility of dispatching the ambulance for the Eagle Rescue Squad. The fire alarm is covered during the day by 2 full-time alarm operators and by volunteers from Enterprise during the night. A constant vigil is kept. This is station KF200, Little Falls, New Jersey Fire Department, transmitting on sign frequency of 46.38 megahertz. Time now 1900 hours, operator number 99. Attention all officers of the Little Falls Fire Department. The officers' meeting will be on Sunday morning, April 13th, at company number 2. The tradition of the sleep-in crew started in December of 1925, when several members slept at the firehouse to give more efficient service. The township in July 1926 installed 2 double beds, and since that time, there has been at least 4 men sleeping at the firehouse for some 72 years of continuous volunteer sleep-in crews. Never has a night been missed. We are very proud to boast that we are the only volunteer fire company in New Jersey where the members sleep at the firehouse. In the last 90 years, we've had quite the collection of equipment, but probably the most remembered or held to our hearts is our 1942 GMC heavy-duty pumper. This engine was purchased in 1942, and a special body was constructed by its members. The new unit was equipped with a 500-gallon per minute Wartress rotary pump, a 120-gallon water tank, and 1.5-inch hose, overhead ladders, divided hose bed, and much more. The engine made its first run to a 5-alarm fire on Mill Street in the city of Patterson. You know, over the last 90 years, Enterprise has had its share of equipment. And with us this evening is Captain Greg Laskowski, who's going to take a moment to explain this piece of apparatus to us. Captain Laskowski, how are you?
All right, how are you, Steve?
All right, would you take a moment and explain this piece of apparatus to us?
Sure, Steve. This is our first line pumper. It's a 1992 Emergency 1, 1,500 gallon per minute pumper.
Right.
We carry 500 gallons of water and 50 gallons of foam on this unit.
When did you put it in service?
This was put in service December 17th, 1992.
Now, isn't there something about the cab? How many man cab is this?
This is a open cab, which is a little different from what we're used to. We sit 8 men comfortably all in the same area, and an open cab where they can speak and talk a little bit more ready, like going to a fire, than having to yell over an apparatus or farther off to the back step, as in years past.
I guess that's much easier now that you have the sleeping crew here?
Yes, when we get right on the apparatus, we're right next to each other, and without having to yell, I can explain exactly what we have to do when we're going to a call.
Okay. How long have you been a member of Enterprise now?
I've been on Enterprise approximately 8 years now.
8 years, and you've been an officer for how long?
6 years.
6 years. Captain?
I'm a new captain. This is my first year as captain.
First year, so you think you're going to really go places here?
I hope to, yeah.
Oh, so very good. What is it to be a member of Enterprise?
Just to be a member of Enterprise, it's a heavy weight on your shoulder. It's trying to live up to years and years of tradition and time-honored training, and just the knowledge that everybody before you was very good at what they did. It's striving to be number one around here.
Oh, very good. I guess tradition was instrumental in designing this piece of apparatus with the hose bed and so on and so forth?
Yes. Through the past, Enterprise members set forth a design of a fire apparatus that we followed even to our newest piece of apparatus, with a split hose bed, special side cross lace that everybody can reach, and just a general design that it's workable for us in our township.
Okay. Well, I see that you're still in pump here. You got the guys out for drill. I'll let you get back to your work, and thank you so much for your time. Good luck.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. All right, with us this evening we have Second Lieutenant Dennis Steinberger from Enterprise, who's going to take a couple of moments to explain this piece of apparatus. Lieutenant Steinberger, how are you?
Fine, how are
Good.
you?
If you got a couple of moments, I'd like you to explain this piece of apparatus to us.
It's a 1978 Ward LaFrance. It's a 1,000 gallon per minute pumper. We carry 300 gallons of water on it. We have approximately 1,000 feet of 3.5, 1,000 feet of 2.5, and multiple inch and 3/4 hand lines. We also have foam capability on board on this. It's the only lime green piece of apparatus gone in the Little Falls Fire Department. You can also say it's been donned that it's not easy being green. You can also say it's not easy being a member of Enterprise Fire Company.
Why is it not that easy to be a member here?
This is a very unique company where you have a sleep-in crew, plus you dispatch the fire alarm from here. You don't find that in many other towns.
So the sleeping is voluntary, and the fire alarm at night, I believe, is voluntary, correct?
Correct.
Very good. I understand that this piece, along with every other piece from Enterprise, is built with traditions such as the split hose bed, the innovation of the cross lays, which started quite some time ago. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it's the only lime green piece that we have?
The only one.
Is that why it had Kermit the Frog on the front?
Yep.
Very good. How long have you been a member of Enterprise?
8 years now.
And an officer?
2 years.
2 years. So, all right, well, I'll let you get back to your work. I see you're in pump. You have the guys out drilling. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck in your career.
Thank you.
Okay. Bobby, what's up?
How you doing, Steve? You got everything on?
Okay. Very good. I see you're out with the 42 tonight.
Yes.
What's up, brother? How are you? Good. I just wanted you to take a moment. We're doing some videotaping for our 90th anniversary and stuff. And since you seem to be the resident expert, so to speak, on this here 1942 GMC, if you take some time and kind of start from the beginning, a little bit of history about the 42. I understand there's really quite a bit of history about this, like where did it come from? Like we raised money for this and all kinds of things like that.
1939,
Crane sold West Patterson Fire Department 3 GMC pumpers, 500-gallon centrifugal pumpers, and they came from General Fire Truck Company out in Detroit. And there was a big improvement over motorized apparatus.
Right.
And I think this company started talking about, they like something more modern. Of course, like in the 27 and all those earlier years, it was the Depression years, nobody had any money.
Town didn't have any money.
It was one of those things that, so they probably talked about it around that time, and of course the war broke out and what have you. But they had ordered this from Crane, and it wasn't a complete fire truck. They just ordered from here to there.
So just the front, right.
And the rest of it was built over the Crane Motor Company, the GMC dealer. They did the best with the work of the help of our company members at that time.
I understand that there was like a lot of things donated, the metal and...
Well, yeah, like the metal shops donated metal and stuff like that. And so they ordered this. They got the Crane. I think Crane put up the money for it.
He probably did back then.
There was no money for it there, and the company paid them back later.
They like sell. Yeah, they sell newspaper or buy something.
During the war, there, paper and salvage was a big thing. There was big money for that.
Right.
So I mean, at the time, it was big money.
Had a water tank in here too, right? That
the water tank was built also there. Was made here, and there's only a 120-gallon tank. With that booster reel.
Right.
And then they proceeded to. It was in Crane Motor Company most of the time, because they did all the welding and necessary work over there. But they purchased for the body, the hose body. They purchased 2 Miracle France bodies, and they bought them out in Long Island City there, I believe. Probably a junkyard for old fire trucks.
Well, is that how they started the split hose bed or divided hose bed?
Because the Miracle France bodies were actually real narrow. The Miracle France didn't have dual wheels on them. They were single wheel apparatus. So they bought 2 so they could get the width. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, this was his idea. They had a lot of room back there. And then...
I understand that this piece was like the drilling piece of the North Jersey Firemen's Association and the drill teams from quite some years ago. And rumor has it that you were like the speed racer driver of Enterprise Fire Company, the professional driver.
Yeah, well, this blew him out of the batter's box, so to speak. This was... When we put this centrifugal pump in, nobody could touch us in the grafter drill. They could pick up water in 4 seconds.
That's cool. I see a couple of checkered flags on here, and I know there's a story behind that. And
gotta get that on video.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that on video. That's quite a
be there, right?
That's quite a piece. But now I'm going to ask you somewhat of a personal question. I know you've been on since what year? When did you come on Enterprise?
I was still in high school. I come in late.
They have horses back then, or?
Get the hell out of here.
Okay.
I was playing football. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What year was that now again?
We had leather helmets on.
Okay.
I graduated in '53. I came on, and I was in my 18th year in high school there. I wasn't 17 because I wasn't that smart.
Okay, that's all right. Not a problem.
Yeah. And so I came on 18 years.
18 years old?
18, yeah.
1953. So that puts you at like 35 years or more service, right?
No, it's 45.
45.
50 was 53. I graduated 53. I went on at 53. Yeah.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next big question is, what is it to be a member of Enterprise, Bob?
Well, I'll tell you, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. They ask you questions. Well, why'd you become a fireman? This and that. Oh, you're a dedicated fireman. This and that. No, that's not exactly true. You became that later on.
Dedicated.
I used to live across the street. I used to watch the firemen drill right here when I was a kid. And I said, gee, that looks like fun. I think I'd like to do that. But then through the years, you know, then dedication and becoming really interested in everything, you know, getting involved. This company was a lot.
It's been a big part of your life. I imagine you have a lot of memories, good and
yeah.
a couple of maybe not so good ones, I guess. But I know it's a Conti tradition, I have to say that. I know that quite a few of the Conti boys and children were members here, including Billy, your brother, and we've spent a lifetime, you know, with you guys.
The old man Crane, he was something else. I mean, that guy could have been anything.
Really?
But he put his business here because of the fire department. He paid for this of his own pocket, and we paid him back through paper collection. With the addition on the firehouse,
right?
He paid
gave
for
us
that.
property
He gave us the property. Then we paid him back later on for that, but his whole life.
Well, Bob, thank you for your time and sharing your memories. And I'm sure you enlightened us a few things about Chief Crane and the fire company, and just the spirit of what the enterprise is about, you know, is you. And we thank you. I mean, I thank you, and the members thank you, because people like you were before us, and you made us what we are today. So
well, I'll tell you,
that's really important.
I'm glad I was part of it, you know, and I appreciate that. And we had a hell of a good time with all this, I tell you. It was like being a young man again.
Yeah. All right, Bobby, thank you for your time.
Thanks
All right, you can put this thing away now. Time. Mutual aid is a big part of the volunteer fire service. For many years, Enterprise has afforded the chance to respond to other towns to assist in large-scale fires.
Welcome to Little Falls ShopRite Megastore, conveniently located on Browertown Road and Route 46 East in Little Falls, New Jersey. What's for dinner? ShopRite has the answer. Produce, produce, and more produce. From simple fruits and vegetables to specialty items like organically grown greens, you'll find what you're looking for in our produce department. An astounding variety of fresh fish awaits the seafood lover in the family. And for a sweet way to top off any meal, choose from over 300 items baked daily in our bakery department. And when you're not feeling well, Little Falls ShopRite is here for you too with our fully staffed, fully stocked pharmacy. And if you don't feel like cooking, let ShopRite do it for you in our enormously popular Chef's Express department. All items are prepared on our premises to assure you the quality and freshness you've come to expect at Little Falls ShopRite. From party platters to hero sandwiches, we'll help make your party a delicious success. Choose from a wide selection of sumptuous meats in our custom butcher department. Or select quality cuts from our assorted pre-packaged refrigerated display cases, all guaranteed fresh for your table. With over 47,000 square feet of shopping space, you not only get quality, freshness, and everyday low prices, you get selection. You know, it really has been a family business, and here to tell you about the Little Falls ShopRite's philosophy is Christian Infusino and Tom Watkins.
Little Falls ShopRite is owned by the Infusino family and has been serving our community for over 40 years.
Our success is in large part due to our employees' dedication to their jobs and the customers they serve. Many of our customers come to ShopRite not only because of the value they receive, but also they know they're going to see the same friendly faces each time they're here.
Whether you have a question about a product, need a cooking tip, or need help finding an item, our family of employees is always here to help you.
Little Falls ShopRite also has a strong commitment to our community. We are proud to have been asked to participate in this special occasion, marking the 90th anniversary of the Enterprise Fire Company and its excellent volunteers who have always been there when needed.
Their pride and devotion to this community is a shining example of the importance of the Little Falls ShopRite pledge to remain true to the community-minded spirit. Happy anniversary, Enterprise.
We have, of course, had our share of major fires in the last 90 years.
closest one. Alright, 1-0 Little Falls Fire. This is attempt at 10-5.
Receive 1-0, Vulcan Fire. Little Falls Fire, all members, Little Falls Fire Department. 1-0 is reporting on Vulcan Fire at Paul Abbey, 9 Center Ave. Little Falls Fire to all members, Little Falls Fire Department. 1-0 is reporting a Vulcan Fire at Paul Abbey, 159 Center Ave, 1726. Receive, engine 2 lost our water.
Yeah, command receive. I don't have a driver on there.
I receive, you guys lost the one on the scene.
3 air, Little Falls Fire, we're losing water up here. Alright, come back down. Bring a line.
Chief, be advised, we have 843 on the scene.
Chief Sullivan, Bob, got a minute?
Yes, Steve.
Okay, pal, how are you? Good. I see you're out tonight. We're out doing some drilling and stuff like that, but we're making our videotape for, 90th anniversary, and we're asking a few questions, and like a couple minutes of your time.
Oh, go right ahead.
Thanks. How long have you been a member of Enterprise?
Been a member for 26 years, Steve.
26 years. That's I got a long way to go to catch up to that. And how long have you been an officer at that time? In that
I've been
time?
an officer for 9 years, and assistant chief for 3 years.
Oh, so you got 3 years in already.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I know that we're out drilling tonight, and that drilling is a big part of Enterprise's tradition. I know we drill for, learning experiences and competition. If you could, if you got a couple minutes, just give us a little insight on that, why we drill for all that.
Sure. When I first came on this company years ago, drilling was a major part of everything.
Right.
We drilled 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Especially when we were in the field day competitions. We were out 5 times a week, and I was amazed at guys that been on this company for 20 plus years, married, and they were out every night, and it gave you the inspiration you wanted to be part of that. And I still can remember that today. And you meet some wonderful people along the way, and they instill some really good background into you.
Right.
And drilling is all I can say is we still go out 2 days a week.
Yeah, that's great. I was looking at some of the old films that's going to be in the video, and as a matter of fact, I've seen you in quite a few of those. Maybe not so much
50 pounds less,
and not so much gray hair. And you were quite active in the drilling back in the 70s. And I understand you played, a pretty big role in our drilling for the video now, the competition, such as I know that you helped us. I mean, we didn't do drilling for a while. And you came into play here and explained all these drills. I guess the difference between then and now is the apparatus. I know you drilled mostly with what piece of apparatus?
Well, back then we drilled with the Co.2.
Oh, with this one here?
And it was very easy to work off of.
Right.
And when we go out and do the drills,
right,
we're going to do 2 set of drills. We're going to do a regular straight lay, we're going to do a reverse lay, fire to water. We're going to do one with the antique and one with the France.
Is it true that we're going to have like the older guys on the antique? Not that they're antiques.
Don't say old.
Experienced
The
members?
more experienced guys will be on the antique,
right,
and the younger guys will be on the France, and we'll see how everything turns out.
Who do you think is going to do better?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I can tell you that from the drilling part, both teams have been doing very well, and
that's how we've been out practicing and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Oh, you can't just go out and hit that with no practice.
No kidding. I tried myself a little bit, but I need some more practice. Bob, let me just ask you, what does it mean to you to be a member of Enterprise?
Well, Steve, to be a member is more than firematics. You join here for that reason, number one, but then you meet some really strong people, and they lead you in life and make right decisions, and you just learn the right thing to do. And it's a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad that I made the decision to join here years ago, and met some really good friends, and I think they've helped me mold my life, and And I know we have some good young members that
Carry
on a tradition.
Great.
No doubt in my mind.
Well, Chief, I thank you so much for
Thank you,
being a
Steve.
part of Enterprise. I know you were a big help for me when I came on, and very instrumental
and
to
I'm
me
glad.
and many guys. You're truly an inspiration, and we're glad to have you as Chief.
Well, thanks again, Steve.
All right, thanks a lot. Firefighting takes a lot of skill and commitment. I must say that Enterprise has certainly shown the commitment, and our firefighting skills, well, they're second to none. Drilling and highly qualified leadership that the present and former line officers of Enterprise Fire Company has shown is what has led us where we are today. Drilling is the most important and comprehensive way to learn. We here at Enterprise have gotten this down to a science. Since the beginning, the men have drilled to learn and to compete.
No, you don't even. Don't turn it in. You don't even need to stop yet, Eddie. Get it started. Get it to him, Bob. Get it to him. Go, 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 go. That's a good try. Okay, don't not shoot. Yes. 23. Oh, nice. 23.
Time.
Hello, I'm Leonard Romaine, president of Little Falls Bank, and I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you what makes our bank so special. Little Falls Bank is a rock-solid banking landmark chartered in 1887. We have 6 offices in Passaic and Hunterdon County. Our assets exceed $300 million. You know, we are proud of the fact that although we've moved into the global stock market arena after becoming a public company in 1996, our dedication to serving our customers remains our top priority. We have a full range of services available for all your banking needs, from savings and checking accounts to mortgage and low-interest home equity loans. Little Falls Bank has it all. We salute the volunteers who dedicate their time and efforts, often risking their lives to protect and save ours.
Yeah, why do you bank here?
Well, I'm an attorney, and years ago, several of my clients banked here to get their mortgages, and I got to meet all the people here, and I just stayed on I became a customer and stayed on for the last, 15 years?
I bank here at this bank since I came from Italy in 1955. First of all, because the people are very friendly, very helpful. I had no problems whatsoever. I had my first mortgage when I bought my house at this bank, and I'm going to stay with this bank because I like it very, very much. Most of all for the people. They are very, very helpful, very nice.
Happy anniversary, Enterprise. Our main office is located at 86 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey.
Get the $10 coupon for the ShopRite? Wow. $10 off your food bill if you spend 50 at ShopRite. Really? They send coupons. I got one in the mail tonight. 3 weeks in a row. $40.
At Little Falls ShopRite is a good place.
Yes, it is.
I shop there all the time.
I shop there 3 times a week.
And where do you bank, Ed?
Huh?
Do you bank the Little Falls Bank?
Sir.
I bank there also.
I don't like that other banks. They're just
Expedient
too
service.
big,
Only
and they're
plane
not
I will
family
fly on
oriented.
is Continental.
Yes, and Continental is the airline of the fire department.
It's fine.
Up there.
Sure, every time I meet.
This Falls Fire Department. Where's that? Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Got a house alarm.
Sure, I can run it.
583. I'm fortunate enough this evening to have with us Chief Pomponio, who's a member of Enterprise Fire Company. So, Chief, if you got a minute, I got you from the drill team here a second. Could you tell us how long you've been a member of Enterprise and when you came on the department?
Sure, I joined the company in 1960. Was when I first came in the Enterprise Fire Company.
When did you become an officer?
My first officership was in 1967. Was when
Wow.
I started to become an officer. And I've been an officer from 1967 up to this date.
So that's like lieutenant, captain.
That's correct. In fact, I became lieutenant and then went up to captain
Right.
to the channels. And in 1973, I became the assistant chief of Enterprise Company Number 2.
Wow.
From that point, in 1982, I became the chief of the department.
So you've been department chief for
15 years now.
15 years. Wow. You're right up there with the longest members.
Yeah, I've been up there quite a while. In fact, I feel that it's been at least 30 years, I think, running that I've been an officer.
Mm-hmm.
From 1967 to 1997. So
Wow.
I've been continuous service as an officer at least 30 years.
That's quite a reputation, I have to say. In your own words, what does it mean to you to be a member of Enterprise?
Well, what it means to be a member of Enterprise Company, it's always been a strong tradition, you know, fellowship with the rest of the men. It's a place that I feel that is a home away from home. The members can come here, and it's a place to relax, and it's a place to also get challenging events. It's always been very challenging to me. Not only the fires, but the competitions we've been into, everyday life.
Right.
Able to, big challenge, able to help people.
Right.
And Enterprise always felt to me it was a place where we could help people. And that was my whole motivation of joining Enterprise Fire Company. I felt it was a challenging episode to be part of the members here in the tradition of that we've had in Enterprise Fire Company.
Well, I can say myself that becoming a member here in 1984 and you know, starting out at the squad with the ambulance and then coming here with the fire department later on, it was probably the tradition that drew me towards here, and the sleeping crew and the fire alarm. I imagine you slept in now since 1960, whenever that was, quite some...
Several years ago, and it's I think part of the sleeping crew is one of the things that drew me to this particular company.
Right.
I thought it was something that I could dedicate my services to, and I felt it was always a very good thing to do for the township people. You know, be able to respond on the instant that we got a call, and I really enjoyed doing that.
I think that it's safe for me to say, and you probably know more being the chief for so many years and in the fire service, that I think it's safe to say that Enterprise is the only volunteer sleep-in fire company in the state.
I believe so. I've never really heard of another one in the state. For a good many years, I know Wilbur Crane had started this, and he had said many years that we were the only one in the country. And I couldn't really substantiate that, but he felt pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of companies had taken his lead on that, and some of the other companies started to do it. But to this date, I don't know of another one in New Jersey, really.
Well, I know we're the longest running, that's for sure. We have 74 continuous years since the town installed beds here in 1926, or 1925, and we did sleep in before that. So I did do a little history background check. But you know, I myself, you know, would like to thank you as not only the chief of the department, but being a leader for all the members. I know that we all look up towards you and for your leadership capabilities. You've helped us not just on the fire ground, but in life itself. You know, your life experiences and your advice is very well taken here. I can say that myself, I've been fortunate enough to be on the receiving end of your advice and stuff. And if there was anybody who was a great leader amongst our team, you are truly one of those, and that comes from myself and many of the members here. You know, I'd like to thank you for that. But the other thing is I'd like to say is that if you have a few words that you'd like to express to our members and the department, I'd like you to take that. You know, it's a little off the cuff here. I'm kind of calling you, you know, right off from the get-go here, but this is your spot, and we'd like to share your thoughts towards the department and the members. And I'm actually going to just step aside here. I want you to address the membership. Okay?
Well, I think I've been very fortunate to have a great bunch of guys to work with, educated themselves, went to many schools, and the leader is only as good as his men. And I really feel that I've had a great bunch of guys to work with through the years. I saw a lot of guys come and go. But I'm really nothing without the membership. You can be a leader, but you have to have support. And I really feel I've had the support, and I thank the membership for that. They're all a great bunch of guys within Enterprise and within the other companies. I've had 4 great companies to work with my whole time I've been a chief in this department. I'd like to continue that working relationship. I feel it's the best that we can compete with anybody, as a test to a lot of our challenges and a lot of the competitions we were in. So I feel good about that. A lot of my teaching came from our mentor, Chief Crane, which is our plaque here. And I'm very fortunate to have known him. He was one of my teachers when I first joined here, and there was a lot of things that he had gone over and over and over again, and we didn't realize as youngsters why we did things repeatedly. But it paid off. It paid off in the long run. We went over things repetitious, but it paid off in the long run. I feel I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Chief Crane and a lot of the members that I joined with when I first came into the department. Very knowledgeable people. We had a lot of challenges then, a lot of fires we went through. I truly believe that he was one of my inspirations, and I felt that I tried to live up to his I tried to live up to his expectations, and I think I've tried, and I think I've done a fairly good job. I can only know that from my men and how they react to what I do and how I communicate with them. The other last thing I want to say is I really learned a lot and missed one of my assistant chiefs, one of my good friends, Bill Conti, and I wish he was here today to help us celebrate our 90th anniversary. I'm sure he's looking up at us and enjoying what we're doing today for Enterprise Fire Company. That's about all I have at this point.
Thank you so much, Chief, for your time.
You're welcome.
I hope that you enjoyed our 90th anniversary videotape. It seems not that long ago that in 1907, Wilbur S. Crane and the 3 other boys started one of the first and most famous boy fire companies in the United States. 90 years have passed now, and many young men have walked through these very doors. Their lives have been changed and sculptured and molded to become very good men throughout the community and their lives. We thank all of those men that came before us and thank the original members for the fortitude and foresight that they had in starting this fire company. A lot of years have passed and so many men have come and gone. We've had very good times and yet we've had some very sad times. But all in all, it's been for the community. This is the only volunteer sleep-in fire company in the state, or at least the United States, that I know of. We maintain a fire alarm all night long with constant vigilance to protect the residents of Little Falls. We thank all of you for coming and spending the last 30 minutes or 60 minutes with us. Most of all, we thank those sponsors that helped make this videotape possible. They were the Little Falls ShopRite and the Little Falls Savings Bank. Our hats off to them for community involvement. Once again, we'd like to thank you for participating in our 90 years of history and hope that only in the future there'll be 90 more great years. Thank you.
Hospital bills are going to be paid.
Call now.